Yeah, I decided to go ahead and record because I'll probably forget to hit record again.
All right.
Tom can always edit out the first part of it, but yeah,
good.
no, I saw there was a lot of people that had originally committed, said they weren't going to make it. Marty sent Tom an email that he copied me on. Well, they kept me in the loop about doing a Zoom from New Haven, but the problem with that is if everybody's in this, huh?
Too much equipment.
Well, yeah, and if everybody's in the same room trying to Zoom, you can't do it because of the sound. It's one thing if everybody's in their own little apartments or whatever, but if you had 20 people in the same room with their phones out trying to Zoom with you or somebody else,
Sure.
the sound would be horrible. So it's like, yeah, the thing is anybody that wants to Zoom, we've done it every Friday, for a long time,
Yep.
but I think Joel was wanting to be able to involve as many people as he can. I just, and Tom won't be there, and
Oh, Tom isn't going to make it?
no, he's going to be, they're going to spend some time out in California with the new grandbaby, because when they travel out there, they're going to stay for a while. They're not going to.
Sure. Don't blame him. That's
Yeah.
all. Well,
Yeah.
he's in, Tom's in Pennsylvania,
Tom is in
Jersey.
Maryland.
Okay.
Yeah. Tacoma Park. It's
Well, I got something here to discover and add apps to enhance your Zoom experience.
oh, there's probably your application's just asking you to do some stuff. You don't need to. If you're here and doing
I
everything.
just wiped it out. So
Yeah, you can do things like I have I blurred my background only because my office is such a wreck today. So it's like,
well, look at mine.
yeah, I see. Yours is looking kind of like mine.
I got shit all over.
Yeah. Well, you're quite a collector.
I am.
Yeah.
Big
I'm sorry I
time.
won't be able to see you in person over there, but and frankly, I had told Marty and Tom and everybody, I bought my tickets and they're non-refundable, so I did commit to go. But if anything came up, with my father-in-law, the grandkids or whatever, I just would have to eat it, because I wouldn't be able to go because I take care of a lot of things over here. But the grandkid's father will be in town. He works 20 on, 10 off, but he'll be in town for the days of the reunion. So I felt, well, okay, let's go, because I won't have to worry about that.
I
But
wish I could have finally got to meet you in person.
yeah, well, it's a shame. You were at the 50th, weren't you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I probably met you, but I didn't know you, so it's like,
Well, I'm about 6'7".
yeah, I saw that you're a tall guy. Yeah,
Nice
so
and curly.
I'm not 6'7", so you got almost a foot on me here. Here comes Barry.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a brand new computer, so I'm still playing with it.
Yeah, what type did you get?
I got a Dell.
A Dell? Okay. Yeah. Well, it looks good.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Foulon.
What's going on, guys?
Not much.
Just
Big show.
yeah. Well, in fact, I sat here from 3:30 till 4, and then Snake got on right at 4. Yeah, so it was like
It's 3 here.
oh, it's 3 years there. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's yeah, usually would, but Rick Haley called me earlier to tell me he wasn't going to be able to join us today. And David Krippner usually is on a bit early too, but he's not around today either, so I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
I've been absent for a couple because of this new computer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we canceled last week because Tom had something came up. He got stuck on a job, and I was involved with the grandkids, so I wasn't going to get here till about 4:30. So Tom just canceled it. So yeah.
So you guys got your arrangements to go to Connecticut?
I
Yeah,
can't make it.
well,
You can't make it, Snake? That's a shame.
Me too. I wish I could, but there's no way that getting there from here with carrying oxygen, carrying a banjo, carrying luggage. And I've got a couple scans coming up October 1st, and there's some uncertainty with those.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, no, Bonnie and I got our tickets, and we got the train reservations, and assuming everything goes smoothly, we'll be arriving in New Haven about 2 on that Tuesday, the 11th. I
Cool.
know y'all are going on Sunday.
Mhm.
But Dottie talked with me for a while, told me what they were up to. It sounds like y'all doing exactly the same thing I am, just 2 days early, getting over there and taking that little tram to get to the train, and then the train into New Haven.
Right.
So she said she would let us know if everything goes smoothly, or if there's any little quirks we got to know about.
Right.
So we're planning on it.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm starting phase 1 of my, well, not starting, I'm starting the flooring in my phase 1 of my basement restoration.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna start laying the flooring on the Tuesday.
Cool.
Okay.
You doing it yourself, or you got somebody helping you?
Oh, I can't do it, Barry. I can't even haul the stuff downstairs.
Yeah. So what type of flooring you're going to put in? Something that's water repellent?
Yeah, wood laminate
Yeah.
with rubber backing.
Yeah.
I was telling a story last night. I was on a gig. I was playing with an older guy. When I say older, older than me.
Yeah.
And he was saying, "Well, how'd you get started?" That kind of story.
Hmm.
But the story I was telling him, and I bet y'all never heard this story. Snake, you would like this. So I'd played with the show band for 4 months, and then I was playing at the club for another couple of months. So 5 months playing at this point. And Roger comes up to me and says, "Look, Schiavone's coming in town. You'll get a chance to meet him, and he wants to interview you." I said, "Interview me? I did 4 months with the show band and 3 months I'm playing. He wants to interview me?" So yeah, so man, I went home and learned as many new tunes as I could. I was practicing and all this shit. So here's the night Joel's in town. He's in the club. He wasn't playing that night, but he was just going to be in a club. And I wasn't playing that night. I came in on my night off. Roger introduces me to Joel, said, "This is Joel Schiavone." And Joel said, "Oh, Barry, you're the famous side man I've heard about." Like that. And I said, "Well, I don't know how famous I am." He says, "You ready for your interview?" Yeah. I said, "Let me go get my banjo." I said, "No, wait, no. We're standing right by the service bar." He said, "You know the tune Japanese Sandman?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, how's it go?" I went, "Just a Japanese Sandman. Da, 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 da. I said, "Good, you got your job."
Well, it's a good thing it was something you knew, huh?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good, you got your job. That was my interview.
Could have been Nagasaki.
Huh?
Could have been Nagasaki.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a tongue
I
twister.
knew that too. I could hum that one too.
Yeah.
But
can hum
my
it.
interview consisted of humming Japanese Sandman.
If we ever played that at the Mustache, it wasn't that often. I don't remember. I mean, I know the song.
I don't think I've ever played it at the Mustache. I played the tune.
Yeah. Yeah.
I played it,
Yeah.
but never at the Mustache.
Mhm. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's the tune he wanted to see if I knew. I guess he figured if I knew that one, which is fairly obscure,
Mhm.
there's a good chance I knew 5'2" and Ain't She Sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are
Or
pretty
Bill
sad.
Bailey. Yeah.
But that's the story I told this guy, this trumpet player last night. He went, he did a double take. He said, "That was your interview?" I said, "Yeah."
Yeah.
He said, "What kind of operations is it?" I said, "You don't want to know."
Yeah. Yeah. The only time I met Joel where I talked to him, I remember seeing him when he came into the Mustache for the Mardi Gras, that I was working. But we had a baseball team, and we would practice and play out at by City Park. And he came out to one of our practices, was hitting his ground balls and stuff. He liked baseball, so we chatted a little bit out there, but you know, can't say I ever really got to know
Well, I got to know him after the mustache burned down when he come to New Orleans. He always looked me up,
him.
you know, and so I got to know him more after the mustache burned down. I mean, I played side to him a lot of times for Mardi Gras and stuff.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
knew him.
I
knew
played
him
side
then.
I played side with him when he came to Denver. You never got a break though.
Right, that's true. Yeah.
Straight through.
Yeah. Yeah, Barry, did you ever play? You didn't play on the baseball team though, huh? No, that
I
was.
did not.
Yeah, I don't remember you being around, but well, Ben Smith played and had some of the band members, but it was mostly the waiters like McGilka and Harry Moon and Fred played. Trying to remember who else was on the team. I even brought my brother Kenny out because he liked to play ball. He didn't work there, but we needed we would play against the other bars and we would just go so damn drunk the games would go on forever. I remember playing against the Bastille, that Mexican bar or Spanish bar, and they brought tequila and we brought a keg of beer. The game degenerated. Let's just put it that way.
Probably got kicked off as he puked on second base.
Yeah, no, it's like we just kept playing, you know, and we started throwing harder. We were supposed to throw a lob kind of pitch, but they started throwing harder, so we started throwing harder, you know. It was just like, and then it started raining. We kept playing anyway, you know. Yeah.
Was that slow pitch?
Slow pitch. It was started off as slow pitch. That's how you're supposed to play, you know, with a little bit of arch to it. But like I said, and then they started throwing harder, and we started throwing harder, and it kind of evolved, you know. But I don't even remember what the score was. We just kept playing. Yeah.
You playing quite a bit, Barry?
Not baseball. I played when I was a kid.
No, I don't mean that. I mean banjo.
Yeah, I've been doing 2 or 3 jobs a week. I did the last 2 nights. I'm off tonight, but I played the last 2 nights.
Mhm.
I just scheduled one for October 14th. We haven't had any action. But I got a couple 3 banjo players and a keyboard, trumpet, and clarinet.
I hope that's not the reason why you're not making Connecticut.
Nope. No, there's some uncertainty about my my scans on on the first.
I got you.
And you know, one's for the cancer, and one's for going to be a ultrasound of my head to make sure that stroke didn't cause any lasting damage.
Right.
Yeah. Are you having other issues with it that you know
Not
of?
really, no.
Is that,
So I'm hoping it comes out clean, but
yeah, I've
but
noticed
it's-
nothing in your speech or anything like that, you know, so it's
but there's some cause for concern, of course.
mhm. Yeah.
It's-
So when did you first start with the mustache? Did you just you came in as a musician originally, or you were
Yeah.
like,
Came in as a side.
uh-huh.
In fact, I never did play lead. I played side with Vanasek and Jerry Goodnight and so forth.
Yeah.
See, he was the first banjo player I ever heard at the Mustache,
Who
Jerry Goodnight.
was it?
Yeah, back then, for the summertime, they'd switch the leaders up. Neil Undersair would go to like Cape Cod, and Jerry Goodnight would come from Denver to New Orleans. So they'd switch them all up for the summer. And I started in the summer, and so Jerry Goodnight was up there. Neil Undersair was, I think, in Cape Cod.
Well, Jerry had that mustache on the skin of it, on the head of his banjo. You remember that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought he was very good.
Vanasek was a real case.
Yeah, well, Vanasek was more Gentry patterned after Vanasek, more of a personality thing. You
And
know?
that's how I met Danny too. You know, I talked to her once in a while.
Mhm.
She's a good gal.
Yeah.
She's having some medical problems though too, getting up in age like all of us.
Yeah.
Were you there when Mike was there, Mike Gentry?
Yeah, I played with him in Belgium a little.
Yeah. Here's a,
Denver, did you work in Denver with him?
Played in Denver. Let me see. Yeah, a little bit.
yeah. Now that was just a picture from our last reunion.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we showed that before. I just kind of like the way Chris's head's right in the middle of the washboard there.
Right. Oh, boy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Barry, you were working as a waiter when I first started. You were as a waiter there too. You went away and started playing banjo. I remember that. It seemed like it was after Wilbur left.
Yeah, it was after Wilbur left. And at the time it was Les Davies was the band leader. Peter Vrianides, Maynard, and the side guy was Wes. Wes
Yeah.
Smith.
Yeah, I remember Wes. Very
Wes
talented. Yeah. Yeah, he played the tuba also, and he could fill in on tuba, and sometimes he'd bring his trumpet out.
Yeah, he was he lived in Denver for a long time.
Mhm.
I don't know, is he still alive?
I don't know. I heard a report he died, but it's not. I mean, I don't know.
I knew
I
Wes
don't know.
real well.
But Wes and Les Davies didn't get along at all.
Oh,
So they let Wes go. And when I came back for the show band, I did like 4 months with the show band. And I came back from the show band, and Les Davies offered me the job right there. Les Davies, and it was David, and Roger said, "You got the spot." So I worked with Les Davies for just a few months, and they let him go because he was drinking so much.
Yeah.
yeah, the Brussels thing was, I was over there on an assignment with my company, and I walked into the Mustache, and Gentry says, "What in the hell are you doing here?" And he says, "Get your butt up here." And so I played off and on a little bit with him.
Mhm.
It's hard to imagine when we hear all these crazy stories how we got started, that it really was a professional business. You know,
Yeah.
not the normal way that businesses recruit players, even musical like Disney and all.
Just a minute. Hello? No, she's up looking at the foliage up in Idaho Springs. I'll have her call you. Okay. Bye. Granddaughter, she's a senior at KU.
If you look at other music venues like Disney or Dollywood or stuff like that, they have a way to vet their musicians. At the Mustache, if you showed up and showed some interest and enthusiasm, you got the job.
Yeah.
That's the Denver crew there.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. And who's that tall guy back there?
I was standing next to the cameraman when that picture was taken.
Yeah. Yeah. So was this one of the reunions, or are they just,
That's Oklahoma City.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
When we fronted for the Kingston Trio.
Right.
Okay.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was it this guy said when the banjo for the Kingston Trio? He said, "God, I gotta be careful here." He says, "Pretty damn."
Ooh, everybody froze up on me here.
It puts us out of mind, people.
Well, mine was a new computer. I still messing with this thing.
Yeah, well, Marty and Tom have been going back and forth, on the internet about the reunion. Marty was interested in doing a Zoom from the reunion, but Tom kind of explained to him that would be kind of difficult to do because of how many people would be in the same room together with, their devices. It'd be kind of like when you did them from your garage, Barry, like you have too many people in the same room with a device. It's kind of a difficult.
Hi, Roger.
Hey, how you doing?
Roger.
Morning, Roger.
What's up, folks?
Nothing much.
Not much.
Yeah.
Where's Tom today?
Tom, he had a brand new grandbaby, Henry Thomas.
Oh, his baby came early.
He was born on Wednesday by C-section. So he and Emily are flying out to San Francisco.
Right, I knew they were in California.
Yeah.
Cool, good. Congratulations for him.
Yeah. He sent me some pictures. I don't know if I should publish them on the Zoom meeting or not, though, because
Maybe not.
yes,
Let him do that.
yeah, but cute little baby, 6.5 pounds, and mother and father are doing well. It's Tom's son Elliot's wife and had the baby, so they were
Good. That's
excited.
exciting.
Yeah.
First one.
I sent some pictures, but I sent them to Tom, so I guess
Oh,
you probably won't get them.
yeah. He
Okay.
he's kind of not home, so I don't know if he would get them over to me right now. So
That's cool.
yeah.
Just didn't know he was gone. I had some pictures in there of our 25th reunion I sent. Pretty nice.
Oh, okay. That was the one in up in New Haven, right?
New Haven, yes.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, well, it looks like we're heading out.
Roger, last night I played a gig and there was a trumpet player, an older guy, and what I mean is older than me. And he told me that we're talking about the old days. He said he used to play at the Dream Room.
Oh, wow. What was his name?
Um, Phil Campo, Murphy Campo's brother.
Murphy Campbell? Oh, I know Murphy
Murphy
Campbell.
Campo's brother, Phil Campo.
Oh, that's cool.
He said he played there when it was the Dream Room. He said, and they would bring in acts from out of town, but they had a house band. So the house band would play an hour, then the act would do an hour, then the house band would do, they'd alternate, and each group would do 3 sets. And that was at the Dream Room.
I wonder if he ever run into Jack Teagardner.
He didn't mention it.
Yeah.
But,
That's pretty cool though. You got to meet him.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll ever see him again?
Oh, yeah.
Next
Yeah,
time it's
I've worked with him like 5 or 6 handful of times, but last night was the first time he told me that he worked at the Dream Room.
next time you speak to him, ask him if he ever has any photographs from in there.
I will.
I know, I don't know if they would at that time because, people would have to bring their own camera in and take pictures and everything.
Yeah.
But that's pretty cool. That's neat.
Yeah. I found this old picture from the 25th reunion that I had. It's
Yeah, that's when they opened up the curtain and your father's mustache came to life.
yeah. Wow.
That was an amazing moment because we'd all been out doing other things outside. Live, I had the pictures I sent were when we just got there. We're outside New Haven, and we all stayed at the same hotel, and then we all had got together in the theater, and we didn't know this was going to happen. We're in a theater, and all of a sudden we were just talking and drinking, and they set the tables like this, and the stage curtain opened up,
Mm-hmm.
and it was an exact replica of the inside of your father's mustache.
Yeah.
Got standing ovation.
Look, on that night, it was probably right around the time this picture was taken. I was standing next to Joel. See, I'm in the Hawaiian shirt and black.
See ya.
I was standing next to Joel, and Joel turned to me and said, Barry, I can't remember the intro to Havana Gila. I grabbed my banjo and played it real quick. Da, 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 da. Oh, okay, I got
They
it.
got it down. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was an amazing reunion. That's all.
yeah. Well, it looks like it.
It
They had
was,
a lot of kids there too.
yeah, well, it was a lot of it was outdoors,
Mhm.
because the weather was nice at that time. And
I think that was the best reunion we had, Roger.
absolutely, I agree with you, Barry. That was, and a lot of people were still there and everybody was still younger. And it was just, it was magical, actually, really magical. And a lot of friends came and we just had a great time.
Well, and there was a lot of us still alive too.
Exactly. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Even on that stage there. So,
Half the people on that stage are dead now.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's,
Sorry, I missed that one.
I know, that's
No,
weird.
Barry, yeah, Barry
Really
tried
good
like
about
hell
it.
to get me to go. He called me a couple times, but at the time I was still working days and nights, you know, and I wasn't able to get away. I mean, at the time he called me about it, I had a lot of commitments, but else I would have gone to that one. Yeah.
It was like Barry said, there were so many of us there then, and we're still much younger. A lot of people are still alive, and it's just something about the camaraderie at that point in time was on a different level, because only us who were there would understand what was going on and what we'd gone through and
Yeah.
the earlier days we spent together.
And we still were fairly young.
Yeah, and we could
That
still
was 87. Think about it, 87. That seems like eons ago.
yeah, I had
That's damn near my age.
Yeah. I was still in
I
the 30s back then, so that was like a long time ago.
I have a picture. I have a Neil Underser, which I just got from Gene. You know, he was inducted into the Nebraska Hall of Fame for being in what was he in? He was a basketball player at the University of Nebraska. He scored like 15 points every game he played. And then he was a championship tennis player in Texas, and you know, and he was a great athlete. Lots of people don't realize that. He was.
Why do you think, Roger,
Huh?
why do you think that all these get-togethers we've had through the years, he has never been a part of them? Why do you think that is?
I don't know. Some of them might be what happened. I think Fred ended up firing him because Joe wanted the players to stand up and play. But Deal was a very active person. I mean, just becoming a national athlete in college, and then he could play anything. He could play the flamenco guitar. His wife danced. He's a great artist.
Right,
And
yeah, I mean,
I went out to his house one time when I was in New Orleans. We lived over in Mississippi, and Gene had found this huge stained glass thing that says your father's mustache on it. It's absolutely beautiful. She has it hanging in their house.
huh.
So, you know, and he and I talked. I said, God, where'd you get that, Gene? He said she found it online on eBay. And I said, wow, I'd never seen that. And nobody had anything, he didn't have anything negative to say. But at the time that I think, well, Fred, like, well, I knew it was going to happen. Wasn't involved in it because I was working out in New York at the time. And because I probably wouldn't have fired him because he and his wife and I were very good friends.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I've been to his house a number of times and played
Yeah.
many a job after the mustache
Right.
with him. He's a swell guy, but he's never come to any of these.
No, I don't know if this has some deep feelings about that or what, but yeah, I was surprised to see that big your father's mustache stained glass thing. That they were so proud of it and everything. So, but what happened at the time that I found out this years later, when Fred let him go, he was in the process, or they were in the process of adoption.
Ah, maybe that's it.
So it was not a good time for any of that to happen for them. And of course, they did go ahead and adopt their daughter, and I haven't had the chance to ever meet her, but you know, I talked to Gina Neal about them when I was there, and they have grandkids, and you know, all of it's worked out in the long run, but that's the
Right.
only thing I could think of. Yeah. I
Too
could,
bad.
and when she posted, I said, God, how long have I known Neil? So I had to get my calculator out. I've known Neil and Jean for 53 years. That Jesus.
Yeah.
The time you say that and you
Yeah.
act strange, 53 years, what does that mean? You know? It was crazy though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a good time with him. And
I
we
think
went down to have lunch in this gallery down on the Gulf Coast, and Neil had some of his big paintings hanging in there for sale. He has an artist studio at his house. So it's amazing. You walk in, you think you've gone into another world.
yeah.
We've got a brand new painting in Fritzl's that Neil did. We have it over right next to the stage.
Oh
Brand
yeah,
new, a week old.
really?
Yeah.
What is it now?
And Neil did the portrait of Dutch, the founder of Fritzl's.
Oh yeah.
As soon as you walk in to your left, that portrait of Dutch, that Neil did that too.
Wow. He did a portrait of Willie Nelson, which is absolutely, you know, just really good. And he went to a Willie Nelson concert in New Orleans and took that with him. And Willie Nelson signed it for him
Yeah, that's neat.
because he liked it so much.
Uh,
I have to see that next time I come to New Orleans, which I want to do soon.
Yeah, yeah. When do you think you might be able to come down?
I don't know. Last time I went, we came down during the Boo Festival for the Boo Parade.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
And I forgot all about that was going to happen. We were there, and we actually ended up going to the Saints game when we were down there at that time. And
You
Rick,
know, you always stop in and see me. I like
and I
that.
always stop and see you. And try to Danny. Hopefully, he's playing when he's there. And I met up with Rick Haley at the Saints game, so that was fun. Yeah, I always try to see him when I can when I come there. I want to come down there soon. I haven't been with the COVID over the time period and me moving again is just
Yeah.
time to settle down. Stay in the same
Yeah.
one spot.
The last time I saw you down here, we had all met to watch a Saints game at one of those wings
Oh,
places or something
yeah,
like that.
what was it over in Slidell?
Yeah, yeah. Rick came in from Slidell and Karen and
Yeah, Karen was there.
yeah, and Bob Osborne drove in.
Yeah, he go in, right.
Yeah, yeah. It was a
Go
nice
Bob.
trip.
He's
Yeah.
gone too.
Yes, indeed, man. Yeah. Well, no, I saw you. I'm sorry, I saw you at Fred's funeral, at Fred's memorial
Oh
too.
yeah, yeah, that was.
And Bob was there, but he was looking really bad.
Yeah, he wasn't. He was. I'd kept in contact with him, with his wife after that, and then of course she told me when he passed on, which didn't seem it was too long after that.
Mhm.
I don't remember. But yeah, that was an interesting event.
Yeah,
Were you there till the end of it?
yeah. Well, we got our butts kicked by Washington. I remember that. It was like, yeah. Oh, you're talking about the memorial.
Memorial
Yeah,
thing.
just yeah,
The living memorial thing.
yeah.
The only thing that was strange is when Dalton, he finally had to get up and say something, and he was too drunk.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a hard time, but he's doing very well. He's a executive chef at a nice restaurant. And
That,
huh?
who are you talking about?
Dalton Hendricks, Fred's son.
Okay, I met him. But
Yeah,
well, that's good for him.
yeah, he's an excellent chef. Trying to think of the name of it. It's a seafood restaurant, and he's been on TV and got a lot of awards and everything.
Mhm.
He's doing real good. And he got married. He's a deep sea diver. He and his wife, and she runs a shop that sells diving equipment. Yeah, they're doing real good. And she has a son, and he and Dalton get along great. So
Yeah.
he goes on.
Yeah. I had a picture. I just wasn't able to find it real quick. That had Dalton playing at the Saints halftime or game during a game, and I think you said that was his wife in a flapper outfit.
Oh, that was Gene. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you sent that in, but I couldn't find it just now. Tom had it too, but
Yeah.
I don't have everything organized like I need to. But so
That- that-
Dalton was playing, and that Dalton, yeah,
That's an ongoing project, getting things
Yeah.
organized on your computer. I have so
Yeah,
damn
yeah.
photographs, and I try to organize it, but then it pops up over here. It popped up recently. It's just like everywhere. It's crazy.
yeah, yeah. Now I'm trying to put them in little folders so I can find things faster, but they come from so many different sources, but anyway, and
Roger,
Yes.
I'd like you to comment, since we have so few of us on here. I'd like you to comment.
Okay.
Back in let me start it out and then I'll let you talk. Back in the 80s, we started up a second Your Father's Mustache on Bourbon Street.
Yes.
It was in a tent next to Big Daddy's. We even shared the bathrooms with the strippers and all. It was cold in there and the sound system was horrible, but they redecorated the tent like a mustache. And we put in mustache bands. And I mean, I was happy as could be that we're playing mustache music in there, but it didn't work out. One of the problems was I guess the mob guys who owned it, they wanted $12 a pitcher of beer and stuff like that, and that wasn't a mustache philosophy, but it didn't work. You got any comments about all that? I'd love to hear, because I know you were involved. You're the one that hired me.
Yeah.
You know?
That was a strange event. Fred came to me, and before that, we kept trying to find a place to reopen the mustache. I wanted to keep it there. Fred wanted to keep it there. Joe had mixed emotions about it. And then again, we couldn't find the right location on Bourbon Street. And we pretty much would have to have been on Bourbon Street. But anyway, down the road, this Fred comes, I found the place to put the mustache. What are you talking about? So he took me down and we met this guy, Rick, who owned the property. And he was, I don't know what part of the mafia he's from, but anyway, he was a strange
Obviously
person.
a mob guy, from what I
Oh,
remember.
yeah, and his son. And so we explained to him what we could do. And I called Joe and said, Joe, what do you think? Can we go ahead and put the name up? He said, yeah, go ahead, go ahead and do it. He didn't care. He didn't want anything for it. I said, okay. So we got out and I went out and bought all the pictures to hang and, try to make it look like the mustache, which it did a little bit.
It did, yeah.
And put that bar in there, the back bar.
It
And
was nice.
yeah, it was a nice, and
Except
John
it was cold, it was a tent.
yeah, it was outside, exactly. And I have the pictures of the opening of that because people made a big deal at the newspaper in New Orleans, made a big deal at Your Father's Mustache reopening. So they put some articles. I have a news article about me in one of those the New Orleans magazine, I guess. And anyway, reopening Your Mustache on Bourbon Street. I'll post it someday. It's an interesting story. Anyway, the guy who owned that property, like you said, he had a different philosophy than we did. Our philosophy is price is reasonable. The more you sell, the more you make. He was more into the influence of the high price in everybody. And he was just crazy also. He had some sort of wild animal upstairs. I don't know if it was a leopard or what. That's the truth. And it didn't work out for some reason. And next thing you know, he wanted us out of there. We couldn't do anything about it. And it was weird because it seemed like it was catching on again a little bit. It was in this 600 block of Bourbon Street. And
How long did it last?
I can't remember really.
Probably 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, I was
They,
gonna say
they
6
got
months.
rid of the band,
Yeah.
but what they did, they kept the sign up there. So it was called Your Father's Mustache for a good 4 or 5 years after that.
Yeah, I took all
Called Your
the.
Father's Mustache, and they had a mechanical bull in the back.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that part.
Yeah,
Because I went in and got all our decorations out, and that some of them were mine personally, and just got the hell out of there.
and it probably suckered a few people going in there who were tourists that thought it was the old Your Father's Mustache.
Oh yeah,
With that name
I used to
recognition.
hate it when I walked down Bourbon Street and see the sign Your Father's Mustache, and there was a fucking bull in the back.
yeah. God,
You know,
Yeah.
he,
It'd be
he
crazy.
He eventually got arrested, the guy who owned that place. The FBI came and arrested him.
Mhm.
I don't know if he's laundering money, probably.
Well, the problem was the guy that owned it would let you and Fred run it like you knew you had to run it.
Yeah, exactly. He kept interfering with everything. And, you know, we had the mustache system, everything from making the banks up for the bartenders to hiring the right people,
Right.
creating the right atmosphere. And that's what made us successful. And that's what we knew. So we didn't feel good.
I remember it got cold back there. It was cold. I'd try to play somebody stole my gal, would put my hands in my pockets. You're right.
The stories of Bourbon Street. Well, you could probably tell a few stories, Barry. You were there a long time.
And the sound system was terrible. I remember that was
Yeah, they wouldn't spend any money on it, you know.
yeah, it was terrible. I mean, it was hard to get audience participation when they couldn't understand you.
Yeah, there was no acoustics or anything. It just wasn't. Like I said, it was a tent. It's like in between two buildings with a tarp over it or something. I can't remember.
Well, I remember at that place in that tent, it was, I guess, 1984. And I found out that Dottie was pregnant from her first kid that day. And I worked that night in the tent. And me and you, Roger, we got shit-faced drunk over that. Not that we needed a reason. We didn't need a reason, but you and I sat there and got shit-faced drunk celebrating Dottie being pregnant.
Oh, wow. Cool. You're true. We didn't need a reason sometimes, Barry.
Yeah, we didn't need a reason. Yeah.
Let's just have another beer.
I'm not suggesting that at all.
That's funny. Crazy times. We're so lucky to have those times together. Magical.
Even though that whole experience was a bad experience, we still could laugh about it,
Yeah. I forgot what I did after that. I got to, oh, I know what. Fred found the place to reopen the Clarity over on Rampart Street.
Oh,
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was called the Clarity, and it was a beautiful place. And it used to be for strippers, and they had this beautiful stage in it with red velvet curtains and everything, and a beautiful back bar, and that was an interesting era.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry I missed out on a lot of that stuff. We were hicks out here in the woods.
You're into the woods.
Well, this New Eufaula's mustache in the tent, you didn't really miss anything.
yeah. Here's a picture. Here's a picture of Rick Haley's
Miss
second
Karen.
wife, Karen.
From
in
Clarity.
Yeah.
Is he still married to her?
No, they're good friends. They had children together, and they all hang together still. But in fact, Roger, Karen came out to the Saints game when we went out there to watch it in Slidell.
Yeah, exactly.
With her husband. So Rick and Karen.
She still looked good.
Yes, she did. She did. She did the books and stuff, I think, for the.
Yeah, she did at the mustache. She did all for a long time. She was real good at that, and
yeah.
And I had a girl in the Clarity, Kim Reed. She did the books for me there, and it was fun. We're all good friends and everything.
Yeah. Well, this is on a sad note, but Rick Haley had contacted me that he wasn't going to be here today. You might remember he was married to a girl. He was married when he first started at the Mustache, but it didn't work out, and his wife left the kids with him. It was
this?
Two girls, Kate and something, but one of
Rick
the.
Haley, he's talking about Rick Haley.
Rick Haley. Yeah, he when he first started working at the Mustache, started the day after I did back in '71. He was married, and I can't remember her name now, but she left him, but she left him with the two daughters. And well, Kate and can't remember the other daughter's name, but he called me because one of the daughters died and she's in Slidell and he had to go take care of arrangements. So he
Oh,
wasn't
wow.
able to come today. Yeah.
What did she die of?
How many times is Rick
she-
married?
Huh?
How many times is Rick married?
This is his third marriage that I know
Mhm.
of. Yeah. Yeah. And no, she passed away. He was going to, I'm not sure all the details, but he was going to Slidell to help his grandson do the arrangements, for her because she had children, so.
Jesus.
And,
I keep thinking we're still young. I got very well.
yeah.
I kept thinking, well, she must have been awful young. But I thought, well, wait a minute.
I remember the two little girls because it was back when we used to have our little picnics out off of Marconi Drive. Everybody's like my daughter Leslie was just a little bit younger than they were.
Uh-huh.
And we would all be out there playing and running around, and David's son Eric, and so we would yeah.
So David just has a son, right? Or is that,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
David lives in Asheville, right?
Yes. Yeah.
No, I kept thinking Asheville was in Tennessee, but it's right on the border, I guess.
It's in North Carolina.
It's in North Carolina. Because I remember we drove through it. My wife and I were going to Gatlinburg,
Oh, yeah,
Tennessee.
it's real close. Yeah.
So which is yeah. Okay. Anyway, that looks like a pretty nice place to live. I guess.
Oh, it looks
Why did he move
gorgeous.
up there, do you know?
Was that?
Why did David move up to?
I don't really know. He and Karen just his wife just decided they wanted to go live there.
They were down here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a long
They used to-
time.
Yeah, we used to, every time we'd have a little get together, they would always join us. But then it was about 2 or 3 years ago, I think, they moved up to North Carolina. They just wanted to go, I guess.
It's a nice place. It's real
Mm.
arts and craftsy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
a lot of little events going on all the time. You
yeah.
have a good variety of different weather up there.
Well, Roger, did you think you might be able to make the reunion, or you haven't figured out yet?
I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it.
Okay.
That's a shame.
It's very complicated to get there from where I am. It
Same here.
takes me, I gotta change planes. The layovers are any place from an hour to 2 hours.
Mhm.
So, and then to get into LaGuardia, and you gotta take a train to get to New Haven, which is, I think, 3 hours.
Mhm.
So it's the day, it takes up the day, pretty
Mm.
much time I leave. I have to get up at 4 o'clock in where I am. And it's, if I was going up there for a longer time period, for like a week or 2 weeks, it'd be a fun trip.
Mhm.
Just to go up there and make a spin around. It's exhausting.
Well, it's
And
disappointing to me. I'm real disappointed, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've waited over back and forth several times.
Mhm.
And plus it's expensive. It's not the money that really, it's just, but I've learned to fly first class, so it gets more expensive.
Ooh, yeah.
Well, I can fly. It's just my body doesn't, doesn't do well with all that long setting for.
Well, what you could do is you could come into New Orleans for a few days first, and then you could take a flight, because there's a flight from New Orleans that leaves at 5 in the morning and gets to Newark at 9:30, and then the train gets you to New Haven by like 1 or 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah. I might not leave New Orleans, is it?
Yeah, you come to
Roger,
New Orleans, come to New
Are you
Orleans
in
and
the
hang out
Phoenix
for.
area?
Yeah.
Right, are you in the Phoenix area?
Yeah, I'm in the Phoenix area. I'm down in a little town called Gilbert.
I've been there, yeah.
Yeah, it's a small little community. It's pretty cool. It's real small. It's got a little downtown with lots of restaurants and bars and live music. And
I've been to some of those micro bars down there.
oh yeah, they got good beer down here. And they got this for a small community. I've never seen so many restaurants and bars around. They're just everywhere.
Yeah,
And the
I've been to
people
go
there
there.
are pretty friendly. I just have to. Some people you have to be careful what you stay with. They're a little political, but.
Okay. Yeah, I found that picture. Okay.
Oh yeah,
Who was this again?
that's Gene Hunter's there up front. That's Neil's wife.
Is
And
that
Neil's-
Neil, is that Neil playing banjo back there?
Yes.
Yes, yes. What's Neil? Then there's Bruce O'Neill, I believe. and Neil's playing lead banjo.
Mhm.
And I can't think of that. I don't know if it's Ben Smith behind that tuba or not.
Hey,
Yeah.
Roger, I remember Bruce O'Neill's first wife that you were hanging with at Fred's Memorial. Her name was Lauren.
Oh, yeah.
Lauren. Remember, we couldn't think of her name.
Yeah,
Lauren.
no, you did really. Yeah.
Who's that gal on the far left?
The far left is Karen Ali. She,
Yeah.
she was originally married to this guy on the far right, Tommy Barrios. And then Ed and Karen ended up pairing off, and Karen left Tommy for Ed.
Yeah.
In fact, Tommy Barrios on the right here is responsible for me starting to work there, because I went to high school with him. I knew Karen from high school too. And I was working part-time going to college, and he told me how much he was making at the Mustache. And I said, well, damn, I could make as much there in a night as I was making a week working at Holmes's.
And have a hell of a lot more fun.
Yeah, it was a lot more fun than working, But anyway, so and it was just before Mardi Gras, and they were hiring. He told me to come on down, and they hired me that same day. He told me to ask me if I had Bruce Wilson asked me if I had a white shirt and black pants, and I said, yeah. He said, come back tonight.
Come back tonight. I didn't know Karen was married before she got.
Yes, Karen was married to Tommy Barrios.
Didn't know
and
that.
then-
Hey guys, my computer was so screwed up, it took me 35 minutes to get on.
Dear God, sorry.
Your fingers are got too fat.
What's that?
Your
We're
fingers
about to
got
have
too fat.
We're about to have a hurricane here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it coming
I
that
heard
way?
maybe by next.
My girlfriend told me my fingers would get too fat. I said, it ain't my finger.
Oh,
God.
Well, I'm all booked with my flights and hotel for New Haven.
fantastic.
Yeah.
When are you getting in?
I'm getting in Tuesday night.
Okay. All right.
That's the only flight I can get, between Fort Myers and New Haven. Avelo Airlines, I think they use rubber bands on the propellers. I don't know.
What's the name of them?
Avelo, Avelo. They're out of New Haven, I think.
I think they sell massage oil too.
Oh, really? That's good.
Sounds like they have a Florence, Italy.
Barry, you all set to come up? You flying up to New York?
Yeah, we're gonna fly up, me and Danny coming on the same flight.
Great, great. Yeah, it should be fun.
Yeah. Yeah,
Should be a good time.
I'm taking the same flight as they are, but 2 days later. They're going up on
coming
Monday, I'm
back,
going up
yeah.
on Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah,
What day are you going in, Barry?
We're gonna be up there Sunday night,
Sunday night, okay.
traveling Sunday, so we'll get there Sunday.
I'm gonna be there Tuesday night about 9:30.
Mhm. We'll save a beer
Mark-
for you.
Yeah, Marty said there wasn't that much going on Tuesday.
Yeah, it sounds like everything's gonna start Wednesday at noon. I mean, as
Yeah.
far as like the thing at the concert, the little playing and all that, so
But it's gonna be real casual, so that's good.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to wear a tuxedo.
Yeah.
I can't
You're gonna keep
imagine
that
you in a
tuxedo.
Ira.
What, Barry?
I can't imagine you in a tuxedo, Ira.
Yeah, I can't either.
Mhm. Yeah, and I'm traveling light. I'm gonna probably bring just a couple different shirts, and of course, it's probably gonna be cooler up there.
Yeah, you gotta bring long pants. I gotta find a pair of long pants.
Yeah, I guess my Hawaiian shirts might not work up there. That's all I wear these days is short pants and Hawaiian shirts, and it's about it.
Yeah, but you know what? It could be nice weather up there. It could be.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine Joe Terra in a tuxedo?
I can't imagine Joe in a suit.
Well, that same hurricane that's going to come hit y'all like on next Wednesday is going to pull a cold front down on us. They said we might be in the high 40s, low 50s next week over here.
Really?
They're pulling down the cold air from up north.
That'd be all right, because it's 90 out there right now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It is 90. Shit, that's hot.
Mhm.
Barry, Daddy's coming up with his girlfriend, right?
Yes, he is.
Good.
Yeah, Tracy
Good.
and
Not Tracy, her name is
No.
Kelly.
Yeah,
I'm
don't
sorry,
call her
Kel,
Tracy.
I'm sorry. My fault. I met Kelly. I just said the wrong name. Okay.
Yeah, Kelly was at that lunch we went to at Frankie and
Right,
John.
yeah, yeah, and I met Kelly several times. Sometimes the wrong name just pops out.
Was it
Doesn't he
Kelly
know her
with the
from,
long
he knows
black
her
hair?
from school, right, Bear?
No, before he got married, she was the last person he dated years ago, like 30 years
Oh.
ago. And when he broke up with Tracy, he got in touch with her and they hooked up.
Yeah. Now he has a story about how he was playing too, but like out in Jackson Square or something, and she came by on roller skates. And
Who's this, Kelly or Tracy?
Kelly.
Kelly.
Okay.
And then they hooked up again. I think he found her on Facebook or something, and they've been dating since then. She manages what was that steakhouse, Barry?
Crescent City Steakhouse.
Crescent City Steakhouse. Yeah.
Which is an old time steakhouse here in New Orleans.
Yeah.
So how long has he known her, Bear? 30
Well,
years?
He knew her back in the 70s,
Okay, so 40, 50 years.
but then he hadn't seen her. He didn't see her for 50 years and then hooked up with her again.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
They both look completely different than they did because I knew her. I knew her back in the 70s. She and Danny look completely different, as do I. I mean, you know,
Yeah, we're all different.
No, no, I look the same.
Yeah, right. As last week. And we didn't see you last week.
No, I wasn't here. We weren't on last week.
No, I know. It's gonna be fun in Connecticut. It'll be a nice time. I just hope the weather's decent.
They will.
Don't want any rain.
Regardless.
What's that, Bear?
We'll have a good time anyway, regardless.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Do we have a count on how many are coming?
I
50?
don't know all that. I don't know all that yet.
Yeah.
I remember it was up to 30 musicians,
Right.
and most of us travel with another person. You know,
Mhm.
is Joan coming, Ira?
No,
She's not going to come.
nope.
Yeah, the last email I saw from Marty said he was still talking with
Bob Munsey?
no,
You're real funny. You're real funny.
the girl trombone player. I can't remember her name.
Oh, Christine.
Christine. Yeah.
Ira, were you at Joel's wedding?
At whose?
Joel's Schiavone's
No.
wedding.
No,
Okay.
I wasn't there.
Well, well, I was. I just I had a lot of stories about that wedding, but if you weren't there, it wouldn't make any difference. I don't know.
I don't know if Christine will come if no other, women are coming. I don't know.
I think they were running short on trombone players though.
Well, Neil can't come, he said. DeFeo.
I think the only trombone player I know that's coming is Gene Roof.
What about H? She can't make it?
I think something came up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, it'll be tough without a trombone player, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Who can play the kazoo?
Wow. It'll be fun no matter what. As long as we're all there, we'll have a good time.
Yeah.
We'll have a good time.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Yeah, no,
Yeah, it will. It will.
I think it's just a matter of socializing, having a beer, and I know the band's going to probably jam at the hotel as well as at the bar too.
Mhm.
Because I think Marty said the bar is about a block and a half from the hotel. And they call it the bar, so yeah. And but I think we have some meeting rooms that we have available at the hotel. And he said something about so I'm not really sure how it's, because I know that when we went to the one in New York, the band was playing in the bar when I got there just about. They were all gathered down playing.
Yeah, they didn't like him playing too late there though.
Yeah.
Chase the band
So
out.
the name of the bar is The Bar?
Yeah.
Those Yale
Really?
people are pretty freaking creative.
I thought it was in the hotel. It's not. You said it's a different bar.
Yeah, it's a block and a half from the hotel.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway.
Well, look, guys, I gotta go. I gotta push out.
Okay, Barry, nice talking to
Barry,
you.
it's good
Okay,
to
Tyler,
guys. I'm
I'm
gonna
glad
check
you
out
got
too.
on.
All right. See you later. I
Glad I
gotta
got to see you.
go
See you next
too.
week, guys.
All
Next
right.
week, next week.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. Hopefully we'll have a few people. Okay.
Yeah, take care, guys.
Yeah, did you tell people we're giving away free beer? There's come online quickly.
It's poultry night. We can come and get a free
Poultry
goose
night.
at the door.
Yeah, good for, oh, might get a little chick in the back.
All right, guys.
See y'all later.
See you
Bye-bye.
next time. Okay.
Bye.
Bye, Snake. Bye, Roger.
Bye.